Hi, so in this video we're going to look at IT investments and the three-stage investment process. So generally IT investments are about enabling business change and they're about bringing great returns to that business. So whenever we are investing in, be it in hardware, software, any other infrastructure investments that we do from an IT perspective, the idea is to make IT an enabler and to have those investments being able to assist and facilitate business processes across the whole organization. But if we don't really have effective management and good governance, we may end up investing in wrong IT solutions that can cost the company greatly. So the idea now is to make sure that in investing in IT, we want to make sure that we get the best value at a low cost. So there is a balance between value and cost. So we have to make sure that we get the greatest value from as little investment as possible. So as we make all these investments, we need to make sure that we are also managing the investments. And the investments have to be managed both from a service delivery perspective as well as from a financial perspective. And before we even get to the service, we need to make sure that the financial side of it is well taken care of. So some of the reasons why we would be bothered to invest in IT, and some of the reasons why we would actually say let's invest in IT will be to have softwares and hardware that can actually give us value that is relevant at that point in time in our business. We may also want to reduce costs. We may also want to reduce costs in the form of inventory costs, labor costs, telecommunications and transportation costs, but we may also want to even gain value in the form of increasing profitability, increasing market share, improving our efficiency in the business, that is maybe cutting down the amount of time that we take in serving our customers and the like. So it's not just in gaining value in the reduction of costs, but we also invest in IT products so that we can actually maximize our profits, maximize our service delivery, increase our market share and the like. So for IT investments to be successful and for us to be able to actually choose the right investments, we need to have senior management supporting these things. So the executive has to be willing to support the IT investments. They have to be involved in the vetting as well as selection of those IT investments. Then there's also need to make sure that as we invest in IT, we are investing with our eyes set on the overall goal of our organization. So whatever we're going to purchase or whatever we're going to acquire has to help us achieve the overall corporate strategy and the overall corporate goal of the organization, whether it be increase in market share, whether it be profitability, whether it be great service delivery. We just need to make sure that as IT practitioners or IT managers, we invest in IT products and solutions that actually maximize the achievement of the overall corporate strategy. Then we also need to look at the comprehensive IT services portfolio. So whilst we are making an investment, we need to look at where it's going to fit in and how it's going to fit in the overall scheme of our IT products and solutions. So we need to look at our overall IT portfolio and see which projects we have in our at the concept stage, which products have just been launched, which products are currently running or are currently being evaluated, and which products are actually fully operational. And based on that portfolio, we can now see if our IT investment that we want to make is going to add value anyway at any one of those stages, and if it's actually worth it or it has already been purchased before. So one of the processes that we can use that can help us in making IT investments is the three-stage investment process. It's a very simple process which has three stages. The first stage being the select stage. At this stage, this is where you're going to look at how you're going to select your product portfolio, how you're going to create your product portfolio. So the idea behind that one is to firstly look at the proposed IT projects, and then based on those projects, you then analyze their risks, their benefits, and their costs. Then you prioritize them, and then you choose the ones that you want to invest in at that stage. So the select stage is basically selecting the right projects to focus on at that point in time. After you've selected the stages, the various products that you want to focus on, you then go into the control stage. Under the control stage, now this is where you implement the various investments, be it hardware or software. So there are different ways of implementing this hardware or software. One of the best ways of doing it is through a proof of concept type of approach, where you get into an agreement with your seller, and you are given whatever it is, whether it's a tool or it's a software or it's hardware, and you're given that to use on a trial basis for, let's say, for about 90 days. And during those 90 days, that's when you can actually implement this control stage, where you can evaluate whether the system is actually delivering the kind of value that you want, whether it has got the right performance, whether it has the benefits, and it has got the cost savings that you may be looking for. And the other way of also implementing this control phase is to actually buy in full the whole software or hardware, implement it, and then you evaluate. Now, the second one of buying or committing money upfront before you even test the system has got obvious risk of buying something that may not deliver what you want. So the proof of concept approach is usually best recommended, so that you can actually implement this control phase and see how the system works, make changes to it, tweak it as you go, and then after you've seen how it works, you then go to the evaluation stage. Now, under the evaluation stage, that's when you're now looking at assessing whether the system has delivered the value that you're looking for. And under this stage, you're going to conduct a post-implementation review. You're going to ask your stakeholders what they thought of the system and whether they got any value from the system. And then you're going to decide on whether you're going to either purchase that system or on any adjustments that need to be made on the system if you had already purchased it. And the last step will be to document your lessons learned and make sure that you don't continue repeating the same mistakes, and as well as you can actually take advantage of the benefits that you may have realized. So that's it for IT investment, and thank you for watching this video.